guys, but where we are, we've had a pretty wild week for weather. A lot of storms rolling through and tornadoes, and so a lot of trees down in the area. And I think in most of our area we set or got close to setting a record for rain for the month of April. Like 10 inches for the month, which is quite a bit for our area. So that slowed me down a little bit on this, but we'll keep plugging along when we can. All right, so this week we're gonna do something a little bit different. Instead of showing you more footage of me putting shingles and plywood on the roof, which has got to be getting boring, I don't like watching it either. But this week I had the opportunity to sit down with Philip, my cousin, who commissioned me to do this project, and we just talked about what the importance of this house was, what it means to us. And so I'm going to share that this week, and I hope you enjoy that. All right, so I'm sitting here with my cousin Philip. I guess he's kind of the mastermind behind this project. He's the one that contacted me, wanted to see about saving this old house. So Philip, I guess just kind of tell me what was going through your mind when you decided you wanted to see if we could do this project.
Well, the house has been here for a long time. I remember being here as a young kid. This is where I lived, I guess, whenever I was 1 to 2-ish. I've got a couple of memories from being here, and then Mom and Dad moved the trailer next door over there, and so every time you come down to see them, I see the old house, and just a lot of memories about the place here, and a lot of family members. This was their first house, and I guess I'm just emotional sometimes about things, and things relate to memories to me, and seeing the house just kind of get into disrepair. And finally I just called my dad and just said, "Dad, what are we going to do with this house?" And he's like, "Well, I think we're just going to tear it down." And I was like, "I don't want to do that. I want to try to save it." And I said, "Well, will you let me do it?" And he said, "Yeah, if you want to do it, go for it." First thing I thought is, I was like, I'm going to call Jacob and see if he would be willing to take on the project, because I live 3 hours away, and there's no way that I'd be able to do it in any kind of time. And really, this is not my expertise at all. I would need a lot of help if I was doing it myself. And I called Jacob. Jacob said he was interested and gave me a quote on it, and I said, "Let's do it." So I mean, that's kind of how we got here, I guess.
And here I am.
Yeah.
So we were talking earlier about kind of some of your memories with Pawpaw.
Yeah.
Down here. You want to maybe share a little bit?
Yeah.
About that and
my early teenage years, we'd spend a lot of our summer down here. We lived, an hour away as a kid, and I remember the first time Pawpaw called and said, "Hey, you're old enough to help on the farm for the summer. I need some hay haulers. Would you be interested in helping?" And that was a big deal to me, and to get to come down to the farm and spend, weeks at a time down here, helping on the farm, milking, hauling hay, fixing fence. It really taught me a lot about work, about, you want something done, you just do it. And one particular memory, I think this is probably what you were hinting at, is, I was following Pawpaw around on the farm, and he was checking cattle, and, Pawpaw didn't say just a whole lot most of the time. And so I was just riding around with him, and we pulled up to this house, and I was like, "What are we doing?" And he goes, "There's a water line busted. I need to fix it." I was like, "Oh, you can do that?" He just kind of looked at me. He was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "You don't need a plumber?" And it was almost like I hurt his feelings whenever I said that, and he just kind of, and, went to work, and he was just like, "Well, if it needs done, I'm just going to do it." And that really made a huge impression on me at that point in my life, that it was like, you know what, you can do anything, you just set your mind to it. I think sometimes we lose that in life, that it's like, oh, well, I can't do that and I can't do this. And, you know, we can all do whatever we set our minds to do. And it was like a mind-changing moment. And it was just, I mean, right here. And so those memories, those are, I mean, this is, like I said, a lot of people's first house. You know, it wasn't mine, but your mom's, I think, you know, my mom and dad lived here when we were young. Stephen and Deanna lived here. Some of the cousins, you know, I mean, it was their house, and it you know, I mean, my great grandpa had it built.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's been in the family for a long time.
5 generations. Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's just different, you know? And sometimes I think we take that for granted in realizing what a blessing that this place is to us. And the way Paw, I mean, it was special to him, but it's special to me. I mean, the place is. You
know, like we were talking earlier about just the memories of driving by here and just different people living here. And, you know, we've had questions about what's the point of doing this, and is it worth it? And, you know, I think there's a lot more value in things than financial.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I think for most of us, it's just really maybe not our connection to the house, but our connection to Pawpaw and just the kind of a man he was. And like we said, all the people that have lived here, and a lot of people, maybe all of them, were people that wouldn't have had anywhere else to go, anywhere else to live. But Pawpaw had this house and made it available for family and for friends and for people in the community that needed a place to stay. And I don't know that he even charged him any rent. If he did, it probably wasn't very much. That's just, you know, the kind of man he was. And so does that sound like really the reason more behind the house is just that connection?
I mean, honestly, you could probably have built a house.
It for sure would have been easier.
But I don't know. I mean, to me, I guess things sometimes are memories to me. Yeah. And so this house, I mean, it is a lot of memories, and a lot of good memories, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think that I'm the only one that feels that way about it.
Right.
And since we've started working on it, you know, I've had people be like, oh, well, so-and-so was in tears because they found out that you were fixing the house up. And another person, you know, it was just a blessing to be able to know that the house was fixed up. And, you know, my sister-in-law, you know, she calls me and she's like, I got all this family history that, you know, can we put that in the house? And it's not necessarily going to be a museum, but I mean, you can have some of that kind of stuff in it where it has those memories, ties those memories to it. When me and my wife were talking about it to begin with, I really didn't think that she was going to be on board with it, you know? And whenever I said something, she's like, yeah, I think we can do that. I think that's a good idea. And didn't really give me any pushback on it. So she's excited about it. You know, and we used to have our family Christmas down here at Mom and Dad's, and our family's gotten so big that it kind of made that difficult. And Dad was like, I bet we could probably have family Christmas down here again after we get that done. So
yeah, that'd be great.
I mean, there's a lot of benefits to it outside of just money. You know, it's not necessarily a financial investment, even though it is. You know, I mean, it takes a financial investment to it, but it's just so much more than that.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the family tie, it wouldn't have even been a thought of no putting the money into it.
I like old houses, you know, I mean, and honestly, I'll see a lot of old houses around home and be like, oh, I'd love to fix that up. And Sarah thinks I'm crazy because of it, but
but this one really,
this one is so emotional.
This one, I mean, this one was about to the point that the tear it down and start over people were probably right if it hadn't been for this
Oh yeah.
this family legacy that we're trying to keep going here. So
Yeah.
and I think we all picked up little elements of that from Pawpaw over the years, of just his generosity and his hard work and his caring for people. I think that you can see that continued on through the family.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's why it's worth doing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree. And I guess that's probably, you know, whenever I called Dad, I knew it was either a now or never moment.
Mm-hmm.
If we didn't do something right now, it was going to fall in on itself. There wasn't going to be any need to tear it down.
Yeah.
And I almost hate that I waited that long. I'm thankful that it's coming along.
Yeah. It's going to be exciting in the next couple of weeks when we start getting this siding tore off and new windows and doors and new siding on it. And
yeah.
It's really going to start to take shape. So I'm excited about that. I'm glad that you wanted to do this. I'm glad you're letting me be a part of it.
Yeah. I read the comments on YouTube. That's part of the fun of it to me. You know, being away, the YouTube channel is a way for me to kind of keep up with what's going on. And I mean, Sarah and I, you know, every week whenever the video comes out, we sit down together and watch the video together, and sometimes the kids are there. Then I stop and read all the comments, you know, and I saw some people like, oh, take the dormers off and do this, do that. And to me, I want the look, you know, I mean, the look is part of the memory of it to me. I've heard some people be like, oh, tear this wall out or do this and you know, it's not going to look exactly the way that it was, but I think that, you know, for the people that have all the ideas about adjusting, to me, whenever it's about memories and it's about the legacy, I kind of want to keep it as, you know, somewhat close.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, I appreciate you doing this, Jacob, and I think it means a lot to a lot of people. And
well, I'm excited to be a part of it, and thanks for sitting down with me today. I know you're not necessarily as comfortable as maybe you would like to be on camera.
Thanks.
Yep.
All right, y'all go and subscribe and get him some more subscriptions. He said he wasn't going to say it, but I'll say it.
All right, thanks, Philip. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. It's always good to sit around with family and share stories. As you can see, I did get a good portion of the front of this house done this week. We had rain that slowed me down, but I did get some of it done. If you have a family story, family legacy story, or anything like that you would like to share, I'd love to hear about it. Put it in the comments. I'm always up for hearing about family legacies. Thanks for watching.